And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for showing up to the Provoke Coach podcast. Today is a special episode. We are finishing off our first year, okay? Our first year as an actual podcast. Amir is with us today. You can actually see him this time, so we didn't mess up on the visual, but he's accompanied by his awesome fiance as well. So I was going to let these guys do some introductions for you. I really want to talk to you guys about, and I want them to explain to us, really, it's just been a kick-ass year for both of you in business and in your personal lives and in your physiques and everything all and above and under the sun. Thank you so much for showing up to the Provoke Coach podcast. Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Clinton, and congratulations on your first year of Provoke Coach podcasts. We love following you and seeing all the amazing professionals on your podcast every week, and the consistency and dedication you put towards it is amazing. So props for that. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Amir Rad, and I'm the owner of Thrive Training Facility, otherwise known as Thrive Fitness, and specialize in corrective exercise, helping people feel better, injury prevention, nutritional counseling, mobility, and all types of strength and conditioning, and an author of Live to Thrive. And we hosted our YouTube channel about 2 years ago now called Live to Thrive, where we teach people how to exercise correctly, eat correctly, and so on. And this is my amazing fiance, Alexus.
Hello.
Yes. I guess, Alexus, when you think about Amir and you think about the things that he just said, like, I seen your face light up a little bit. And I guess before we get into how awesome you are, right, because you guys are a 1-2 punch, how does that make you feel? I know, knowing that you connected with this guy, that's got to feel great.
Oh, it feels great. I mean, I've learned so much from him from a business and personal standpoint. He's taught me so much, and he's really has a lot of experience in so many different things that I've learned a whole bunch from, and I've seen a lot as well.
That's awesome. Now, tell everybody that, they might not know, we might have some new viewers today. We may have some old viewers today, people that have been following not only you guys, but myself as well. Tell us all about you. All right.
So I'm Alexus Pace-Paterson. I'm the owner of FlexLex Treats. So we had a podcast not too long ago. I launched my business just over a year ago. It's Healthy Baked Goods. I'm also a trainer at Thrive. Been there for 5 years. Absolutely love working with people and helping change lives. I'm an IFBB Pro bikini competitor. Just had my pro debut this year. Went really well. And just living the dream.
That's awesome. And it really has been one of those years. I mean, like you said, you turned pro, Amir, you compete as well. I guess, let's really start there, because a lot of people know both of you as these, it's Mr. and Mrs. Michigan, right? These chiseled physiques. I guess let's talk about that, first. Let's talk about, what is it like? I mean, both being involved in competitive bodybuilding and getting your physiques to these, tip-top physical condition. What's that like? I guess the goods, the bads, and either one of you can start. It doesn't matter to me.
You go.
Well, funny enough, like, fate kind of dragged us into it. Meeting the right people at the right time that just encouraged us to do it. And I was at a point in my life where everything was kind of going well, stagnant, complacent, and I wanted to challenge myself. And I know, we're both really competitive people. So we just got to the point where mentally I was kind of like stuck in a rut. Business was kind of stuck, and I wanted to do something challenging and new. But also fitness related, where we can push ourselves and try to get better at the same time. I knew it was going to be hard. Actually, I didn't think it would be as hard as it was, but the discipline and like the regimented eating and planning and business fitness workout times, getting up early before work, even if we work at 6 a.m, and just doing cardio, and after work or during the middle of the day, getting our strength training session in, eating at the same times, tracking everything we're eating. I just feel like that helped personally my discipline even more in business, because it made me more resilient and regimented towards my business and everything we were focusing on with clients, and our clients started to notice it, and they kind of noticed the different tempo in our behavior and our patterns, and there's like, these people mean business, when we show up to work. And I feel like the harder we work, the harder we were pushing our clients subconsciously, and they're just like, you guys are trying to kill us because you guys are miserable. Like, but it was really I think the competition kind of led to everything else with the gym and her baking business and everything in between. We're both competitive with each other, but I think more within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. And Alexus, now, were you competing at the same time as Amir? Like, were you guys doing shows essentially together?
Yeah. We literally started prep on the same day. I actually did not want to compete at all. He was really interested, and I was like, I'll go with you. I don't want to do it. And I remember we left the gym, and the coach that he was interested in, his wife was like, I can have her ready in 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And Amir's like, come on, just do it. And I'm like, all right, 7 weeks. I'll just do 7 weeks, and that's it.
Wow.
And I have a competitive, inside me where I just wanted to keep going. I mean, it's such an adrenaline to be on the stage. 7 weeks is not a very long time, so I knew I could beat that look.
Wow.
If I had a full, 16 weeks to prep for a show. And it is fun. And to go off of kind of what he said about clients, clients have a hard time tracking food and staying consistent. And when we lead by example with doing it, it's not like you don't understand. I understand that you don't want to weigh out your food or you have to travel with a scale. We travel with our own food sometimes. Like, it's just a lifestyle. And I think like they just listen to us a little bit better, and they're like, you do exactly what you're telling me to do.
Well, and how do you know too, right? Like, I mean, after a while, if you're not doing something, right? If you weren't weighing your food, if you weren't going through this regimen, how are you going to be able to really help clients? I mean, you've been winging it for a long time. Like, you guys all know, being in the industry for as long as you two have, especially combined, there are people out there that they can tell you very good what to do, right? But they don't do it themselves.
They have no idea. They can't tell you based off of experiences. And I think that is what helps you grow as an individual, off of experiences. And it's hard. It's not fun to track your food. It's not. I remember one time our scale broke, and it was late at night, and we had to go run to the store because we couldn't have dinner without weighing it. But that's because we want to be consistent. Like, we are very consistent, leading by example. And I think our clients really respect that from us.
Now, do you think that, I guess with you guys, and just speaking frankly, is there too much, I guess, like, you guys are competing at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
So for the everyday average person that wants to kind of look very, very good and great, is there too much to where it starts to mentally, become an issue?
I tell all my clients 80-20. I don't want them to be perfect. I still want them to enjoy life, but I really want them to just be consistent, especially throughout the week, and then enjoy yourself on the weekends. Yes. Don't have your beer or wine every single night. That's just added calories. But there's little changes that people can make. But I also listen to people and what they need. If I have a client that craves a certain thing, I'm not going to tell you to stop eating it. It's moderation. You don't ever want to take something fully out that you absolutely need. And, maybe you need more food and move more, or maybe you don't have time to move, so let's pull some food. Everybody's lifestyle is different.
Yeah, well, we try to we try to gauge it off of people's goals, instead of, I don't want to be the person that tells somebody what their goals should be. I want them to tell me what their goals are, what exactly their goals are, why they feel that way, why they're doing what they're doing. And I feel like that'll help me understand the person better and how I can help them more. But like she said, more than anything, consistency and results. Everyone's going to get motivated by seeing results. And as long as they're consistent and they listen to us, and learn from us, I think that's enough motivation for most people who are serious to continue doing what they're doing. And if they have a slip up here and there, or they don't want to track their food for the rest of their life, that's fine. As long as they learn, how to eat, what types of foods to eat, the right portions and so on, and how to stick to a schedule when it comes to working out and so on.
Well, and I think you're right. I mean, I think what both of you said about consistency but also listening to your body, like your body will tell you what you are missing and lacking. I mean, when you start really dialing it in, and, I do it as well with my clients, is I just first start with just track and see what's going on. Like, just know the numbers. Try that first, and they fully understand, but most people really do. And hopefully some people are listening right now and they're like, you know what, these guys, all three of them are jerks because they're saying the same thing. It's like, look, people have it flipped upside down, right? They usually on a regular basis are not eating right and taking care of themselves. And then they throw in this every once in a while, go on a bender of working out, tracking everything, eating well, right? We're coming up upon New Year's. So, right, they got until January 10th before they just throw in the towel and say, screw it, I'm going back to my normal life. And it's like, it takes 21 days to create a good habit. So, you got to do that. And that consistency is perfect, because then you really start dialing it in. And I know that you guys are super good at this, because you actually do this to where you can peak at a certain time in bodybuilding and look a certain way and present yourself full and lean and all that. But the everyday average person, they just want to look good if they peel their shirt off. They want to look like, whoa, that guy works out. And I mean, you get old like me, and I'm just like, wow, like I just want to, have like at least a 4-pack, like, I don't need an 8-pack like you guys, right? But and I guess that's a real tough thing. Now, how do you guys, I guess, in the bodybuilding world, we'll talk about this, just for one more second. In the bodybuilding world, how do you help each other? How do you complement each other? Is it with the nutrition? Is it with the workouts? Is it with the posing? Because I got to imagine where somebody's strengths is others' weaknesses, right? When you're talking about maybe each other. Talk to us a little bit about that.
I think, go ahead.
I'd say it's literally everything. You don't see yourself the way that someone else sees you. I mean, it is insane when you get lean to that point and you still don't feel lean enough. And you're constantly telling each other, like, no, you got striations coming in, or you're like, a big thing in bikini is the glutes. And I am crazy about it. And he's like, no, they're definitely, the glute tie-in is coming in. And I'm like, I don't see it at all. And I really do not see it, but he can see it. So like, we're constantly trying to help each other there, because you really are just, I mean, it's very, very hard those last few weeks with posing, all the little things. He'll train me when I literally cannot train. I am dead. I have no energy. And I'm like, can you just tell me what to do? I don't know what to do. Like, I can't even, and I'm a trainer. I put people through workouts all day. I can't tell myself what to do. I don't want to. So it's literally everything. Or, maybe like, hey, what is your macros tonight, and getting dinner ready so it's easier for that person to just go to sleep. So it's like everything.
Wow. That's awesome that you guys are sharing this, because that is such like such a giving relationship, because you're understanding that element of need. It's like, it's consoling somebody if they've had a bad day. It's that, but that's in a relationship, that's important, right? Like, whether, I mean, it could be, doing laundry. Surprise, I did the laundry. It's put away, and folded. It could be, making dinner. It could be whatever, because what the other person is going through. Now, does it, I guess on the flip side, because I can see this happening, do you guys, which one of you takes it easy on the other? Like, Alexus, are you telling Amir, like, oh yeah, babe, like your lats are, perfect, when maybe they're not, and you're like,
I feel like we're honestly pretty honest. Because we both want to win. We don't. Yeah. I don't want to go not ready on stage and think that I'm ready, but you have to be careful too. You definitely have to be careful how you approach it, because you don't want to discourage anybody. You just want to say, maybe try this. Maybe you do a little extra cardio or something like that.
I think the biggest thing comes down to the accountability, where I don't think we're too vocal unless it comes to critiquing each other here and there. But I think we're more lead by example. Like any athlete, we're just like, one of us gets up early and goes to the gym. You're like, I'm not going to let him go to the gym and not go. But, it's just like seeing each other do, bust ass and just work hard and do things that other people aren't doing, and just trying to be one step ahead. Neither of us want to be outworked, and then being around someone who has the same mindset. It's just, that helps a lot, I think, more than anything, because the meal prepping and cooking and everything else is just kind of like robotic at that point. It's like you don't even think about it. It's the mental game that you have to constantly think about and battle with the most. And I think just leading by example, being accountable for each other helps a lot too.
Well, and it's got to help you in other parts of not only your relationship, but I guess, and we'll get into that now, is that you guys are both, some kick-ass entrepreneurs as well. So this is pretty exciting. How, I guess, in either one of you, it doesn't matter, because I want to hear from both, and we want to hear from both. Talk to us about business a little bit. Like, all right, so bodybuilding, right? We got your physique locked in, right? I'm sure, you're going to continue to compete, in the future. I gotta believe that, because you guys are both competitors. What about business? Talk to us a little bit about that.
So, I like, just exercise in general, and whether it's bodybuilding or any type of athletic or fitness capability, I just want to be the best that I can be, whether it's bodybuilding or just being the best athlete I can be in general. I think helps me personally so much, because if I'm not at my best and I don't feel like I'm on top of the world when it comes to my physical and mental health and just strength, my business would suffer and go downhill too. I feel like I see it all the time, where people are just so run down and low on energy and stressed out and miserable, and they're down on themselves, and they take it out on other people. But I feel like having my not just outlet to go to every day, but pushing myself and failing in the gym, and constantly pushing yourself to failure and learning from it and getting better and getting stronger, I think has translated to business the most. Because there's a lot of times in business where there's no light at the end of the tunnel, that you just feel like you're hopeless. You don't know what to do. You feel tired. Nothing's just clicking right. And I feel like those are the moments where being strong mentally and physically and just being competitive with yourself helps so much, because you can just, all right, what do I do next? I'm not going to let myself lose. I'm not going to let myself go down like this. And I think that's got me personally through every year to get better and better and better, and just having that energy with our clients and having that energy with everybody we interact with. It just draws the same kind of like-minded people towards us and and to thrive, because if it wasn't for that type of energy and mentality, we're surrounded by people that want to be the best they can be every day. So that's what makes my life way easier. And it's also motivating for me because, you know, running a business with people that don't want to be there is just not fun.
Yeah.
But, you know, I teach my clients the same thing. The more you fail, the stronger you get.
Yeah.
Don't ever let it get to you. Don't ever let it bring you down. Take that competitive edge. You're either learning or you're failing. And if you learn from failing, then you're doing well.
Well, and something that I've learned, you know, I guess from following you guys for a while, you know, when you're showing not only, and I guess we'll get into that in a second, not only the awesome workouts and the awesome videos on YouTube that you guys have. I mean, that's your education part, which is just fantastic. Okay. In my opinion, but your clients are, first of all, there are all sorts of different types of clients that you have, which is pretty cool. It's, you know, it really is bizarre because usually you get a certain type of client and that seems to be the only type of client, right? Which I think you guys have a vast majority of your people are very diverse, you know, in your area, especially. But they're real people too. So I've seen them transform. I've seen them, you know, over the years, you know, turn into, you know, some of them were kids and now they're adults, you know, kind of, and they look it as well. What's that culture like? I mean, did you guys do that on purpose? Is that just you? Is that just the people? How did that work?
Okay.
I just feel like, you know, that energy that we bring creates that type of culture because, you know, I think we want to be the best we can possibly be in our craft. And our craft is so large. You know, the fitness industry, you're dealing with people with aches and pains, people that want to lose weight, people that want to gain weight, people that want to talk, you know, and de-stress for an hour, but also want to get the exercise benefit. And I just feel like our attitudes are so contagious and the people you spend time with is so contagious that anybody that walks through the door at Thrive, no matter what they say their goals are, I think we take on a challenge to be able to want to help them and improve because I think the attitude of being the best you can be can really be contagious to anybody. And I hate having like a certain type of clientele too. I like the creativity and the challenges and the different types of people. Just the way people's brains work and the way people are motivated in different ways excites me, I think, a little bit more than just being redundant and being really good at one thing. I just want to keep learning and getting better in every aspect of the field. I think that's what makes the gym so diverse and fun at the same time.
Yeah, not only do you have different projects essentially to work on, right? Like people are projects, in my opinion, when they're trying to transform, is that you want to be able to help them. But you're right. Not only are you dealing with the physical body, but you are dealing with that mentality factor as well. What type of person mentally is this person? You know, and, you know, that can be extremely challenging as well. Well, that is fantastic. You know, Alexus, you know, what's it like working with, you know, your soon to be husband? You know, I mean, are you kind of handling more of the operations? I know, you know, in our podcast, we were speaking a lot about that, which I've worked with Amir, so I know that is a perfect mesh together. Talk to us about that.
Well, I would say when I started, I helped a lot with just the organizing things because I came from I was an operations manager at another gym, so I just was able to make things a little bit easier, I would say. But now, I mean, people always ask me, all my clients, they'll be like, do you guys ever get tired of each other? I mean, you guys work together all day. You know, we are with clients all day. Sometimes I haven't talked to Amir all day and he gets home, how was your day? Even though I was with you, we are with our clients. We're not together. And I think we're very close to our clients. That's their hour. That's time with them for whatever it is that they need. So I don't see it so much as we're with each other all day, just because we're in and out, where I do my baking stuff, or we run to let the dogs out. We're back. We're with clients all night. He sometimes works till 8 p.m. and then he gets home, and that's the first time that we get a chance to talk about our day, and then just go right to bed because we got to be back at 6. So we're just grinding, but it's nice because we're both doing it. I think it would be a lot harder if like I wasn't busy and I'm just sitting at home diddling around and I'm like bored. You know, we're both really busy, so it just makes things really fun.
I think Alexus treats Thrive like her own business a lot, because she never has to be managed or told what to do, or it doesn't feel like a boss-employee relationship. We're just running the place together, which is awesome. But it's that
it's the passion. We both have such a passion for Thrive and helping people, and I mean, I absolutely love training people and watching people transform and seeing their confidence come out. It's a huge reward as a trainer I mean, I've had people literally cry when I meet them because they just are so uncomfortable with themselves. And then seeing them just completely change, and they're so confident, feels so good. That is the most rewarding job. I don't care what anybody says. It is absolutely amazing. And going to Thrive, it's fun. It's so fun to have our clients every day.
Well, and that's cool that you guys, really, you guys are working hard. So, that you're absolutely right, Alexus. What you said is that you're not, waiting for him to get home to walk through the door. So, so you can chat with, what happened with your day. And Amir's not doing that either. He's not coming home. Like, you guys were there. So you really know what was going on, you know how it was going, because you guys are both very passionate about helping others succeed and seeing that to where you're not worried about the nonsense. And I think so many people out there, they need to hear that. It's like, look, when you do what you love to do, time flies rapidly past you. You don't know what's going on. And then you come home and you're like, all right, cool. Now we got 2 hours to spend together, and it's good quality time. I know that you guys, spend some good quality time together when you have it, but you guys are both competing for things. You guys are both thriving, essentially, right?
Exactly.
In that regard. Now, you were talking about baking. So maybe some people, they haven't, watched our episode a while back. Talk to us about this Flex treats, okay? Like, I just keep thinking Rice Krispie treats, like that are like instead of those fluffy puffies, like just like in shape people that are eating these treats.
So it's healthy baked goods. I started it about a year ago. We were eating the chocolate banana bread. That was the first one. And we were dropping weight for our competitions. And I love baking. I'm very creative. And then it turned into, I have about 50 flavors now. And I'm constantly like, oh, I want to try that, or that sounds kind of good. Or I ask people, what do you want? And I love creating this guilt-free dessert that you have before bed and you feel great. It's not heavy. And it honestly is, it's pretty light, where you don't feel like you just ate something super sugary or anything like that. It's very gentle on the stomach. And the holidays are always fun, like right now, because of all the Christmas flavors, the New Year flavors. And it's been one heck of a year. I will say that. It's been really good.
Now, I know that, and you guys are probably sick of, kind of talking about it, but you had an opportunity to have some national exposure on what it was, Ryan and
Sorry, we got to
Sorry.
Right? Yeah, that's all right. Look at this.
That's
guy.
Bella.
Oh, that's Bella. Yeah, she's awesome. So you guys got some national exposure, right?
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah. What was that like? How did that
Oh my goodness,
happen?
it was a dream come true. I'll start with that. I mean, I had no idea it was actually happening. Amir did. So it's quite a funny story. We were sitting at the Thrive desk, my 9 a.m. was running a little late, and it was live on Kelly and Ryan. And right at 9 a.m., my Instagram page, I start getting like follow. And I'm like sitting with Amir, and I'm like, why is my Instagram blowing up for Flex Like Streets? Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
He goes, I don't know. And I'm like, that's so weird. And then my mom texts me, Ryan Seacrest is about to eat your bread. And I'm like, what? Like, Ryan Seacrest, who we watched American Idol growing up, is about to eat my bread.
Wow.
And I FaceTime my mom right at work. I'm like, hi, can you please show me the TV? Flip it over now. And I'm like watching it, FaceTiming my mom on TV. And it was insane. It was like,
wow.
It's still surreal. Like, I wish I could relive that moment. But amazing. Like, it gave me a lot of recognition.
Sure.
It was definitely a lot of sales that came in, more than we were prepared for, but we did it. It was a very long week. We had lots of help and got through it. It was insane.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, and really to have that, the exposure, because you're right. I mean, sure, for social media and all that, but you got sales from it. And that shows proof, because those people don't just eat anything. And I mean, come on, like who would? I mean, they're big time, right? Like, like they're not just going to eat anything. And I know Thrive got a little bit of recognition for it. They did talk about this power couple that I know, just in in the Ann Arbor area.
Yeah.
Right? So that's just so awesome. And I guess, for Flex Treats, I guess let's dig a little bit deeper into that. Like, people are thinking about these New Year's resolutions now. And if they're in you guys' area, of course, they're going to come, to Thrive. But the other part of it is nutrition. And I gotta be honest with you. I mean, cakes, treats. I mean, I'll eat pound cake this time of year. Like, I don't care. Cookies. I mean, dough. I mean, I'm chowing on all sorts of food. What is it about these treats? Like, how do you make them taste good, but like you said, light, easy on your stomach? Because a lot of this diet food, it does tear your stomach up. Like, what's the deal with that?
But I personally love them because I have a lot of issues with food intolerances and, competitive fitness, anything aside. I have like borderline ulcerative colitis, IBS to the max, a lot of food intolerances. And, I just hate sugar and the big corporations in the food industry that just try to poison people on a daily basis. Just my opinion. I just love eating healthy and whole foods. And then when I started eating her baked breads, I'm just like, my stomach's not getting upset, and I'm still getting lean for my show. And it's just because of the ingredients in it all fit well. There was no added sugar. It was just made out of good quality ingredients. My first thought was, you should get these ingredients on a label and break them down and sell this stuff. This stuff is amazing. But, I mean, coming up with like 50 flavors of all sorts of different kinds, I think is just amazing, because people have different taste buds, and people kept requesting stuff, and finding a way to make it fit people's calories, and flexible dieting, and not saying you need to eat this, and this every day so you can, those diets fail. We're very big on flexible dieting and eating the right types of foods too for fuel. And when you can get a little bit of comfort out of it too, then without the guilt, that's the way to go.
When I put my recipes together, I actually I don't even bake it until I know the calories are where I want them, or else I don't see the point. Like, if I love it and it's way too many calories, it's like, well, how do I pull stuff out? So I kind of have like my bases now, which is really nice, because over a year you kind of get more of the fruit breads, chocolate breads, certain kind. But I try to keep all my slices around 100 calories, which is, if you go to a coffee shop, a slice of bread is going to be around 400 calories plus.
At least,
I mean, it's straight sugar.
Right.
So that's kind of my goal. So I'll always add all the macros up, divide it by 9 slices. That's the calories per slice. If it's over 115, I'm like, where can I pull just a little bit to bring it down? Because it's got to be macro friendly.
Are these loaves normal loaf sizes
Yeah.
that you would use
A
the
standard.
tin?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, like our clients, like weight loss clients, they need to keep their treats pretty low calorie. So if it's around 100, that's really good because they can have 1 or 2 slices depending on how much they want to indulge. But like, the whole idea isn't to eat a whole loaf in one sitting. It's to be able to, not Amir maybe, but
Right.
it's so that way it's just it's a little snack before bed. It's light on the stomach, and you didn't get into the Snickers that's sitting in your drawer because you don't need it.
Right. Now, let me ask you, because I see all the different types of flavors that you have and the different additions that are a part of that. How do you keep that sugar out? Like if you're going to make a Fruity Pebbles, bread, right? How would you make that taste good? Or can you not disclose that? Because I won't push you.
No, I mean, a lot of my bases are going to be pumpkin puree, applesauce, or banana, which banana is great because that's a natural sweetener.
Yes.
And I like to use things like stevia.
Got it. Understood. Okay, so that's kind of how you're going to have that type of flavor in. Do you I guess add a lot of the different fruits in, help probably with that natural sugar opportunity as well?
Yeah, you do have to be careful with fruit though, like even
Yeah.
like my carrot bread, for example. Carrots have so much
Yes.
sugar and carbs where
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's natural, but that's going to up the carbs so much per slice. And I try to keep
Right.
it really macro friendly. So
Nice.
I just be careful with that. Like cinnamon is actually great for a sweetener too.
Yes.
Just like there's so many different things, and you just got to kind of try them out. And I would say banana is probably the best, but again, banana, you don't want too much of it. So it's all
Right.
about the grams and making sure it all turns out nice and soft.
So, really, should somebody picture this like if they were to make a fresh loaf of banana bread? Is it that type of texture and consistency that banana bread would be, but the different types of flavors? Or is
I'd say it's a
everyone
lot
different?
lighter. So it's
Okay.
not near as dense. It's more airy, fluffy. And I feel like that's why it's so gentle on your stomach versus this thick, dense piece of bread that,
Okay.
I mean, banana bread's great, but it's going to be a lot of calories. So
Sure.
mine's a little
Yeah.
bit more airy and light. And that way you can eat a slice. Butter, sugar, all that, and the other one, yeah.
Now, do you have different like zucchini type breads or?
Oh yeah, that's another one I use a lot too. Yeah,
Okay.
zucchini's very, very popular because I use protein powder, which protein powder, I don't know if you've ever baked with it, but it's quite challenging.
No. Yeah.
And it dries things out.
I can imagine. Yes.
It's like it's impossible to try to make something fudgy. But if you add zucchini or like puree, it's going to just kind of keep it a little bit more moist.
Wow, that's so awesome. Oh, sounds so good. Like right now, I want it.
No, I have to send you one.
But you can't have chocolate, right?
Yes, right. Exactly. I'm allergic to chocolate. That would get me, that would get me in trouble. There's no doubt to that. Well, that is fantastic. And I know now, you guys have really taken off with sales. I know that Thrive, you guys got a new facility as well, right, Amir? So, here we got 2 master forces and you guys are, soon to be married. I guess let's talk about the facility first. What's happening with that?
So Thrive just had its 9-year anniversary in November, and we got approached by a couple of the former athletes in town, and they said they had a new building opportunity. It's a great space, and we were kind of in the mindset of growing a little bit anyways and moving to a better facility and upgrading. And throughout the course of 2021, we just kept buying new equipment, getting rid of old equipment, and people thought we're kind of like, are you guys going out of business, or you keep selling your stuff? And we just kind of kept quiet and just kept upgrading everything. And then when this opportunity popped up, we jumped on it, and we walked in, and this place was like red and black. We're like, this is our colors.
I was going to ask you, wow, you guys painted that thing already? I was like, man,
so it had like red lights, red floors, and
awesome.
We're just like, this is sweet, So we're walking around and love the space. It's a huge upgrade for us, and like when you walk into this new facility, it's like, this is probably the best, coolest, not to brag or sound cocky. I think it's probably the coolest training gym you'll go to. And then once our like field turf arrives and our wrestling mats arrive and everything that we ordered that's on back order like shows up, I think it's going to be like we're going to really make like a sweet commercial and invite people in. But yeah, it's hard to believe it's been 9 years since I departed from working for you. And
that's fantastic. That's awesome. So it's quite a bit larger. Is that correct? Or is it bigger? Is it, how is it compared to what you had before?
It's nicer. It's bigger. It's a different type of vision. You walk in the building and there's going to be a lounge in it soon. We just moved in, so there's going to be a lounge in it with some TVs and have a space where we can host events and host like game nights and different types of events. The other people in the building, they're putting in a podcast room and studio. So that's almost done. We have 2 training rooms. We have like a functional training type of room, and then we have a weight room. We have like 4 showers and 4 bathrooms, so it's a lot bigger in that sense. Then there's the NIL management office, which is kind of a newer thing that happened in July, where NCAA athletes can get paid through sponsors and endorsements and get deals and money. Somebody just started that business as well in our building. So we're just kind of sharing the space now, and I think there's a lot of growth potential and opportunity to grow in the new space too without high traffic area. We're right across from this Costco that's just like a madhouse all day long.
Crazy.
Nice.
So it's exciting, just seeing how far Thrive's come over the years and starting from nothing to all this new fancy equipment,
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Well, and great for the members, right? Especially the members that have been with you guys since the beginning. Now they get all this awesome brand new equipment, this new facility, and that's always good for somebody to go through. Not only you guys, that's awesome because now it's fresh. Like, it's like, when something's new and it's exciting, it's like very stimulating, and it's just like, and you just do more. People like you, of course, some people shut down and put their head in the sand, but you guys are really taking it. It's like, wow, you got, the diet and the workout. Now, I mean, it's just going to be now, are we going to put like a booth there, Alexus? We're just going to drive that bread right out of there?
Yeah, we've talked about that. Like, the issue is that I try to make everything fresh. So, but if we get more volume in there and more people coming in, we've definitely talked about like a refrigerator. They have they used to have a smoothie bar. So it's actually like a board that has lines that I could put all my breads on. Like it's perfect. This place is amazing. Like we couldn't have asked for a better place to move to, and we have lots of ideas. We'll say that.
I bet. Wow. And just in time, right? Like I think that it's perfect for everybody in your area. They want to start with their New Year's resolutions. I mean, whether they're fake or they're real, I got to believe that if the two of you get a hold of them, they're going to be more real than fake, right? Because you guys are going to hold their feet to the fire.
100%.
Well, and I guess, for you guys that have been, in the industry for such a long time now, I know the answer to this and I know my opinion, but I guess in the world that we live in now, like, what do you think that, is the biggest challenge? Is it really that consistency? Is it the fact that people don't know what to do? They don't know how to do it? Is it a combination of it all? Like, what is it? in your opinion?
I think it's a variety of things. Like you said, consistency is not knowing what to do. I think the biggest things, that steer people away from sticking to their plan or goals are, they're not seeing results. It's very demotivating in a lot of ways to just try something and try something and try something. And you're just not getting anywhere, so you just stop. And the other big thing is I just feel like people that have a hard time with going anywhere with their fitness goals, or they just don't know why they're doing it. There's got to be a purpose in everything you do that's important for you or important in your life in general. And if you don't have a purpose of why you're doing something, like the example I always throw around is people that start working out to find a significant other, and then they find that person, and then they both stop working out, and then they break up, and they both start working out again. It's like
up down
that cycle. It's like they have that temporary motivation to get in this relationship, but in practical life, it's like if you're not doing this for yourself, really what it boils down to, and knowing the reasons why you're exercising for yourself to better yourself. And not understanding why you're doing it, I feel like is the biggest detraction and reason people get stuck and don't see the results they want.
Yeah, 100%. What do you think, Alexus? I mean, you agree with Amir, I'm assuming, but I mean, I guess from your point of view, what do you think is some other reasons maybe why people don't, really follow through?
Yeah, I would say I hear from clients a lot, like, gosh, this didn't used to be this hard. This is so frustrating. Like I have some people that were college athletes that they're no longer in college. They don't have that team pushing them saying you have to be at practice. And they're like, I can't even do 5 push-ups now. And it's very discouraging. And I think that's when our jobs are so important to say, well, you're here, and let's set a realistic goal in 6 weeks. Let's see, what can we get you to? What's the number you want to try to get for push-ups? Because I can see how someone can just quit from there and say, you know what, it's a lot easier to just go to happy hour and not be upset about myself. Where really you need to just push through that wall, because you're just going to get stronger and stronger. And then the rewarding part is when bear crawls. Are you familiar with those?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah.
That is one that people have a really hard time with at the beginning. And then they'll be like, wow, this is way easier. Like, I just went down and back without stopping. And those are the rewarding moments when people realize already their conditioning, their muscle endurance, everything is getting so much better. So it's just we have to be encouraging to them and remind them why they started. But then we need to know their why. Just like what he said, I think people have the hardest time with nutrition when they sign up for training, because they've committed to us for sessions, but we can guide them with what to eat.
Right.
But it's up to them to do it on their own. I have a handful of clients every night that screenshot their apps to send me their total amount. And sometimes they go over so bad, but they tell me about it. And I just like get back on, or they're right on. And I love that, because sometimes they just need to send their trainer the photo and say, I screwed up, or, hey, I hit my numbers, and they need to be told, great job.
Exactly. Well, and I think that's a huge part that is such an addition, because like, I mean, for all of our clients, like, we have a scorecard, and every night that scorecard needs to be filled out. And every night they get graded and they get scored accordingly. And there's positive scores and there's negative scores, and I mean, everything from nutrition to meditation to the whole 9 yards. And just because they do it, their score goes up.
Yep.
And I've scored, right, to where I know for a fact that I'm not going to turn in a shit score. If there's an hour left of my day and there's something that I miss, I'm not going out like that. And you play this mental game with yourself. So it's not even so much for them sending it to you, is that they send it, right? That they physically let that bugger hit send, and they're like, she's going to chew my ass. You know,
we're doing burpees tomorrow.
Right. But I try to explain this, like, look, you hired me to help you. And in your case, and in your case as well, Amir, they hire you to make sure that they get these results.
Yep.
So what they got to understand is now you have the proper information to make a good decision. You would do that with a financial planner. You know, you're not going to tell your financial planner, yeah, I make like, you know, $400,000 or $500,000 a year. I'm pretty good. No, you don't. you make 50, right? Like, how are we going to invest, right, for the future when you're not giving me accurate information or knowing essentially the numbers? Wow, that's fantastic. Now, let me ask you guys a couple questions. What's it, I mean, for you guys growing like you're growing right now in business, you know, is your relationship growing at the same time? I know you guys are going to be getting married, coming up next year? When is this, right?
May next year, yeah.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Are you guys growing, you know, together now? Do you guys find it to be different than when you guys were just dating? Because you guys have always been pretty successful, but now you're being successful together. What's that like?
I think it's nice to do it together because we're growing, like you said, and we're both so busy and we're both working hard and spending long days on exactly what we want to accomplish. And I think we're seeing positive results. Everyone's happy. Everyone's, you know, thriving around us. And I think that's motivating, but also just, you know that we're both working so hard is awesome because I think it's fueling more and more success, but also fueling us to work harder, smarter, and making sure that we're not wasting time. And I think oftentimes we work so much that we forget about spending time with each other. So we try to plan date nights often. We try to do stuff together often. And then after we just get, you know, crashed and burned, we try to plan vacations and get away and just not think about work at all and just have some fun and unwind and relax and do stuff we don't do in Michigan.
Yeah, of course.
So I think that helps a lot, is just being focused, but also having, you know, some time to ourselves together is very important.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like we're really in sync with, like, sometimes we just give each other a look where we're just exhausted. And then we'll like go on Delta and be like, maybe we just take a weekend trip somewhere, because we both are, we're very in sync. It's crazy. Like we just know I can tell if something's going on. He doesn't have to tell me, and he can tell with me, and that helps a lot where you guys can communicate. But sometimes you don't even have to communicate, and they know. And then you're just booking a trip or dinner, or I don't want to cook tonight. Let's order takeout. Like, you know, it's just little things like that. Like we can just read each other really well.
Well, and I think you guys are so consistent and not only positive, but healthy too. Like, I think it's real important for people to understand that mind, body, you know, emotional connection, those are all linked together, you know, because you guys can, I mean, you'll know, like, I mean, I would imagine probably the biggest arguments probably come from when somebody's competing in the house, somebody's going through, you know, a deprivation of carbs, right? you know,
it gets hangry in here.
Right, but you know this, but you guys are, you know, so powerful to push through that on yourself personally that has to transcend with relationships as well. Because, you know, look, I mean, I've been married for, you know, God knows how long now. I'm sure my wife's watching this, right? But for a long time, and I think you're right. Like, you do sync together, and when you can find that sync, you do know. Like, I call it mind reading, you know, but it is like my wife doesn't have to say anything to me. I can feel her energy walk in the door, right? And whether it's good or bad, but she can also feel mine. Like, I come from a mile away. Like, I burn bright. like, whether it's a good one or a bad one, right? But it really is that sinking moment. Well, that's awesome. So you guys are getting married in May. Is this a destination wedding? Is this in? No.
Well,
All right.
Kind of.
Michigan.
We're getting married in Ann Arbor at a client's restaurant, and then
nice.
We're using our client's nightclub next door, the same place, and just using that venue to get married. And then
awesome.
It'll be more of a cocktail reception.
Right.
With all our friends, family, clients, and then you're invited, obviously. We just haven't even got to that yet. But the weekend after
should be out. You should be getting yours any day now.
Perfect.
Save the date.
Yes. No, I did get it.
You did get it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
I was going to tell you that. I haven't responded to it. It's in a pile, right, that I got to go through. But yeah, it's there. It's there. I did get it. Because you sent me a message. So May. That's nice and warm in Michigan. That's
we were back and forth.
Right.
We were back and forth about doing destination or staying here, but we were so close to our clients, and we were like, I want them there, and we can't pick and choose. I love all my clients, so we were like, well, let's do the cocktail reception. It's more simple. It's more fun. We just want to have a fun time. We don't want it seated and so proper. We want people to come in, have some finger food, grab a drink, dance, take a photo, whatever. And then the following weekend, we're actually going out to Vegas with our bachelor and close friends and his groomsmen. And it's Memorial Weekend, and we're just going to have one heck of a weekend.
I think a lot of people will probably show up to that event too.
Yeah, that'll be.
Because we like to have fun in Vegas.
Yeah,
well, that's where we got engaged too. So it's got a very sentimental feeling. We love Vegas. It's totally us. Yeah. We just vibe so well there, and I can't wait.
We're getting everyone in shape for the pool parties and.
Yeah, there you go. Well, remember, you're nonchalantly saying, "Hey, look, nobody can show up to my wedding not in shape, so you really have." You got from January 1st, we'll give you a little break, right, until May, right?
That's right.
Time. I mean, somebody can get ready for a show in that time.
You have plenty of time. All of my girls are like, are we doing a bridesmaids boot camp? I'm like, heck yeah, let's do it.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Well, that's a little extra motivation for everybody. Well, I guess I'll ask you both this question to kind of leave the audience with is that, you guys have had a fantastic year. I mean, a really awesome one and a fun one to watch. I mean, from an outsider looking in, I don't see you guys every day, but through social media, I definitely see all your wins. I'm following all the exciting news and even your little getaways, here or there and your fun stuff too. What advice do you have for the listeners out there, as we're rolling into the holidays and maybe into these New Year's resolutions, maybe whether it's physical or in business or anything I guess we'll start ladies first. Alexus, you tell us your, I guess, super advice for these people listening.
Make time for yourself. If it's going on a vacation or going to the gym, some people get caught up on just taking care of other people or getting caught up in work. I have people that are like, I never got away from my desk. And I'm like, that you can, you still can. You can walk away for 20 minutes and do something. And I think people forget to just make time for them, especially moms out there. They do a lot for their whole families. And they really need to go get a pedicure, go get a manicure, and make someone else watch the kids for a second. But no, it's just make time for you, because if you don't, you're going to get burned out, run down. You're not going to be happy with yourself. And I think that's really important, to love yourself first over anything else, because once you love yourself, you're able to really take on other things and be 100% you.
Yeah, fill your own cup, right?
Mm-hmm.
I once had a guy tell me that. He's like, look, I fill my cup first. That way it's overflowing to where I can dump, into your cup. And then when yours is overfilling, you can dump into somebody else's, and so on and so forth. And I always thought that was a great analogy. Wow, great advice. You're absolutely right. Moms and probably even some dads out there too, that are listening, they don't take care of themselves. And that self-love it's critical right now in the world that we live in. Wow, that's fantastic. Amir, what about you?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that one for sure. Making yourself your number one priority is so important. Yeah. Because if you're not at your best, you can't help other people be at their best. And give everything you got to the people around you that matter the most. And on top of that, just making yourself uncomfortable in different ways to succeed. You know what I mean by that is don't be complacent. Be happy with your achievements and be happy with things you accomplish, but don't be so quick to be satisfied and complacent. Try to make yourself uncomfortable in different ways, whether it's new goals, new challenges, and set real measurable goals. Like you taught me, what gets measured gets improved. So 100%. Set real goals constantly and know why you're trying to get to those goals and why it's important to you, and figure out and write down what you have to do every single day to get there. And if you accomplish that goal, set a new one, because the sky's the limit. From an outsider point of view, if someone thinks I'm successful or Alexus is successful, I feel like I'm just getting started, and that mindset, I think, helps fuel so much positivity in my life. And then when you get burned out, take a break. Yeah. Have some balance, have some fun, spend time with the people that matter the most, and get back to the grind.
Yeah. And that's important that your two pieces of advice are get uncomfortable and take a break, right? Mm-hmm. Because right. And that's important to do, but you're not doing that all the time. You're not taking a break all the time. No, you're getting uncomfortable by working your tail off, right? Mm-hmm. And then, right, when you get burned out, take a break. And then, wow, I mean, no wonder why you guys sink, right? Because you guys are, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the commercial where you start like talking and dressing like the other person. And, like your significant other, there is some truth to that. You really do turn into and you take on things from your significant other, which in you guys' case is extremely powerful, which is awesome. That's why I called you the power couple. Thank you so much for being on our podcast today. I'm going to have you guys hang around just for a couple minutes. I'm going to let everybody else off the line. We'll let them get to their holiday celebration. I appreciate
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Sure. And happy holidays.
Hope everyone makes it their best year yet.
Heck yeah. Thank you so much for everybody listening in. If you like this, share this. Don't forget to leave a review. Hurry up. Do it by the end of the year. Come on, plug us in, right? So we can get some more subscribers. And as you know, the Provoke Coach podcast a year ago was really kind of designed to share provoking stories of other people rather than just this guy. I wanted to be able to connect with people worldwide. And just to let you know, we are in 4 different continents. We are in 8 different countries so far. Nice. For our first year. And I told myself, all we want to do is focus on getting the right people to tell the right stories. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Everybody, happy holidays to you, and we will talk to you soon.